Hello everyone, this is Kelly with Kelly Richmond Scrapbooking. I'm a Creative Memories Independent Advisor and I'm coming to you today, and we're going to do the September 2023 Worldwide Virtual Crop Sketch number 1. I'm kind of doing these out of order, but that's okay. I am super excited to do this because I'm going to do a fun little element with this big giant circle. So let's get started. I am using, I think it's called Winter Frolic, but I'm not positive. It's an older pack from Creative Memories. I love the winter paper and embellishments so much, but I used to live in Florida. So I have all this winter paper, and I moved back to Idaho in 2015. So I'm scrapbooking 2016, which is super fun. The funny thing is that I'm scrapbooking a trip when we went back to Florida to Disney World. So these are some frozen from one of the Frozen rides. So I'm going to do a layout with that, but I'm super excited about using this paper pack. So I'm going to set that aside for a minute. I'm also going to I kind of got my pictures in the order that I want to go with the sketch. So I'm going to move those out of the way. And I'm also going to move my pages out of the way because we're going to do something fun first. And let me say this, first of all, I was not the one that was the smart one to figure this out. Is another Creative Memories advisor. And, she showed me how to do it, and I've loved this technique and I do it often. So I'm going to show you. This is the Jumbo Circle custom cutting pattern, and we're going to use that today to cut these this 11-inch semicircle. I'm going to actually cut a big circle and then we're going to cut it in half, okay? But this is a great way to get that perfect circle. And if you notice, I have some marks on my custom cutting pattern, and this is so that I can line it up. First thing I'm going to do is line up my white piece of cardstock that we're going to use, and we're going to line these little marks. I've made these marks on my pattern so that they're exactly halfway here and halfway here. And I'm doing this so that I can line my paper up, so when I cut it, it's going to be in the perfect position and I don't need to move it after that. Okay, so I've got this lined up with the 6-inch, this lined up, so all of these are lined up with the 6-inch. And I'm going to actually use this punch after I cut to create this snowflake border around the whole thing. Okay, but first we need to cut it into a circle, and you need to know, depending on which kind of punch you're using, depends on whether or not what blade you're going to use. I do know for sure that this is my little cheater right here. If it's a 2-inch, if this area is 2 inches, like most of our Border Maker cartridges, you're going to use the blue blade on the outside track. Okay. If you have a normal Border Maker, say like this one, and see how this one, if you were to take the ruler and measure it, the cutting area is 2.5 inches. Okay, so most of our border punches are 2.5, and then I would use the red blade. But since this one it's actually a frame punch, this is a frame punch, and so this measurement is only 2 inches. Yep, it's 2 inches wide. So we're going to use the blue blade on the outside track, since this area is only 2 inches. Okay, so I have this little cheat sheet. I wrote it down. I put it up on my wall right in front of my desk, so I can always have it. So I'm just going to put these little pegs in the groove of the pattern on the outside, and I'm just going to give it a little pressure. And I'm not going to lift my hands up because I do not want my paper or my pattern or anything to move. You did see my mat moved, but I had a pretty good hold of it. And then I'm just gonna lift this up. Oh, see, seems like okay. we're good. Now, I don't want to move my paper at all. So I'm gonna set that aside for a minute. I wanna keep my paper on my mat perfectly centered, because what I'm gonna do is, my cheat sheet says that I'm gonna mark at the 45-degree marks. Okay, so 45 degrees. So I'm gonna take this pattern off. And if you have a 13 by 13 mat by Creative Memories, those measurements are already on your mat. So see, I have a second mat right here since the paper's covering it up. And see, it tells me my 45-degree marks. So if I do the 90, 45, and the 0, that's gonna be about perfect. So I'm gonna take my ruler here, and I'm going to take my pencil and just make a really light line. You might not be able to see it, but I can, at each of those 45-degree marks. Now I could do this on the back side of this paper, but it would be really hard to see. And this is definitely something that you're gonna want to practice doing, because it takes a little bit of practice. Okay, now that those are marked, what I'm gonna do is what I've done with this one in particular, if you can see, I've taken a Sharpie, a little tiny fine tip Sharpie marker, and I've marked the center of this punch, okay? And the reason why I've done that is so that when I do this technique, I can line the lines in my giant circle, can you see those, are gonna line up with this line that I've created on my punch, okay? So I'm gonna start with just those lines, and I'm gonna line it up as best as I can. And I do it from the bottom side so that I can see where I'm lining it up. Okay, and then I'm gonna just move over to the next line. Line it up the best that I can and punch. And we'll come back and do these little spots here in a minute. But for now, I'm just gonna line it up and punch. Line it up as best as I can and punch. Okay, I'm gonna get a little closer just to make sure that you can see it, see the lines, and then punch. Okay, now once I've punched all around, what I'm gonna do is then punch in this area. And there's not really any place to line up except for these little tiny edges right here. So when you put your paper in, you can kind of see there's a little space. See, there's a little space there and a little space there. And I wanna just try and get those spaces as equal as possible in my punch, and then I'm going to punch. See? And then it has this continual. Now see, I got a little close there, so I am not going to put it quite so far into the punch. I'm just going to make it so that those little triangles are just going to barely peek out, so that I'm not going to ruin the design. That was much better. I don't want to ruin the design that I've already punched. So I'm just gonna, yeah. I'm just gonna continue the rest of the way around. I'm almost done. I've got 3 more punches. thought this would work great with this layout since it's frozen and snowflakes, so it's perfect. Okay, got this all done. Let me clean up all my, now we call this punch poop. And look at the cute little snowflakes that come out of this punch. So if I wanted to, I really could keep some of these, and I might just keep a few and use them as embellishments on my page. So I'm going to just keep a few of them. Set them aside, and then the rest of this is going to go in the garbage. Okay, all right, so now this is done. I'm just gonna go back and erase my marks. Like I said, you could do your marks on the back side of the paper. I did the back side, I actually used insert to a paper pack because it used to be printed on super nice white cardstock, and so I'm using the back, so I wouldn't have been able to see the lines with all this on the back, so we just did it on the front. All right, perfect. Okay. Put my punch away here. All right, so now for our page. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna cut it in half. Oh, I should have kept some marks on here because that would have helped me line it up to cut it in half. I can still kind of see this line right here and that one up there. Look at that. So I'm just gonna put this in. Okay, and cut it right in half. So now we've got our 2 halves for the outside of our pages, okay? So let's bring our paper back and our pages back. Now I'm working right on my scrapbook page. That way I don't have to like weld pieces together to make a full sheet or anything like that. All right, so with this design, you can see this piece right here, the 2 dark pieces are 6 by 12, which means this outer piece right here has to also be 6 by 12, okay? So really, the nice thing is that means I can take 2 papers and cut them in half and it's gonna work. So I won't be wasting any paper whatsoever. I'm gonna use this as my inside 6 by 12 inch strips. So I'm gonna cut that at 6 inches, and then I'm gonna do the same with this one. Okay, so if this goes here, then this is gonna go on top of it like this. I really like how that stands out. And then this piece will go right here. This piece will go right here. This is also a super great way to make your paper stretch if you only have like if you want both sides to kind of match, but you only have one piece of paper of a design that you like, and you're like, how do I make these 2 coordinate? This is a great example of how you can do it. Cut them each in half, put 2 in the center, put 2 on the outside, and it just makes your page flow really, really nicely without having to have 2 different background papers. So I really like that. It's kind of a cheater way to do it. All right, So this is gonna go right here. So super, super simple. Then all we're gonna do next is go ahead and put our pictures right on our page. And then I'm gonna do, for this little element right here, I'm gonna do some stickers, a border sticker, I think. I've already trimmed my pictures to the size I want, but I want to matte them. I really want them to stand out. I just like the way a photo looks when it's matted. And so I want to matte these photos. Yep, that's going to overlap. I see that. So I've got to decide what color. This is going to kind of be tricky. Let's see. This is an old aqua. I'm not sure I like that with the pale blue. The other option would be, I have this robin's egg, which is brighter. I definitely don't like that. What about this? I think that might be our best option. Okay, that's it. That paper is the dark sea green cardstock. All right, so let me cut some mats really quick. Let's see, I need 4, 6x4. And 2 4x4s. All right, so there's my mats. Let's get those matted super quick. Now you don't have to mat your photos if you don't want to. This design does not, or the sketch does not show your photos matted. I just like the way it looks. So that's why I'm doing it. Whoops. And then we'll start putting our paper down. All right. All right, so now I'm gonna put that border sticker, and I have this really fun sticker that has these snowflakes on it. So I'm going to line it up. I'm not doing it right over, I'm doing it kind of on the inside of that, just like this did. I think I like that. All right, now let's get this done. Readjust that a little bit. Slide that down just a little bit. That way, if I want to put a title on it, I can. I think I put that a little bit too low. I'm just gonna move that up a little bit. All right, let's put this one down. All right, we've got to put that other sticker right here. And then, you know what, I'm going to put these on first. Okay, and then Olaf. All right, I think for the title, I'm gonna do Let It Snow. Haha. Kind of that play on the let it go, let it snow. I do want to do a cluster. I love these little snowman, and I think it's perfect for this layout, these little snowman. Even though they're not Olaf, they're still adorable. So I'm gonna kind of cluster it right there, and then I think I'm gonna take some of my snowflakes and put my snowflakes. So if I do that, right like that. And then add a few little, oops. Should have done repositionable tape on this one. It's all right. Set that one aside. Try this again with repositionable tape. little tiny one right there. I also have these little stickers that would be really cute on it too. I want to save the other snowman. I want to put the other snowman over here with a journaling box that I'm going to make, or just put some lines for a journaling box. Let's see if there's anything else I can. How about these little things? Other stickers right down here in this corner. Okay, and I think we're done. So great way to use your border stickers on a different way than making just a border. So that's a super fun element. All right, and there you go. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, this is the sketch number 1 from the Worldwide Virtual Crop. If you want this handout that I've created with the idea and everything on there, you can go to my Facebook group, Scrap Happy with Kelly, and ask to join. And then you can get all of these handouts that I create to put in your little idea binder. Okay, hope you guys have a good time. Hope you have some fun scrapbooking. Talk to you later. Bye.